Hi guys, this is Klazart with Cholera here, bringing you a dual commentary, probably one of the two most anticipated games played for a long time in StarCraft. This is that we've seen today. We saw Bisu versus Stork earlier, and now we're seeing Jaedong versus Luxury. Luxury taking the red. This is a two-player map, Chupung Ryeong. We've got Luxury at the top right-hand corner of the map in the 1 o'clock position in red. Jaedong at the bottom left-hand corner, playing Zerg, obviously, in white. Or could it be cream, as in cream your opponent. But I'm not sure if I want to be Luxury or not. This is a crazy group. We've got 3 Zerg players in this group, and we've got Cal, who is a veritable Zerg killer. I think second probably only to Bisu and maybe Best in the Protoss Zerg destroying stakes. But this is important for Luxury. He needs to try and somehow do something to pull out a win against Jaedong to give himself a chance of getting through this group. Otherwise, he might have a tough time of it, because you would probably fancy Jaedong to definitely advance, because no one seemed to want to pick him in the form that he's in. The question, so it's really going to be a fight between GG Play, Luxury, and Cal for the third spot, and I'm not sure Luxury would give himself the best chance to qualify, because GG Play on his day can produce some great StarCraft, and we all know what Cal is capable of.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and this game is definitely going to be Jaedong's toughest challenge. On the other hand, I feel Cal is a very good PvZ player, but you know, recently I was shaking in my confidence of him because none other than Hyuk managed to defeat him actually in the MSL group stages. He got 0-2,
losing to Bako.
Yes, exactly. It's worse than losing to Bako. Hyuk, it was the second worst Pro League player in the world for most of the season until he won a second game. He was at 1-8 for most of the season, and now he's 2-8 or some shit like that. The only person worse than them was Frozian, who was at 0-7 and remains at 0-7 in the Pro League. But anyway, yeah, Frozian.
Good old Frozian.
We saw an overpool there, I believe. No, this looks like yeah, it's an overpool for. No, it could be a 9 pool. 9 pool, I think, for Luxury, and looks like a 10 pool or a. It was a little bit later than an overpool for Jaedong. So Jaedong's build is definitely, I think, going to counter Luxury's a little bit here. You know, Luxury has the slightly faster pool, but it's not going to do him that much good. And you know, Jaedong doesn't even need a build order win to win. Sometimes he's in situations where he's supposed to lose in ZVZ, and he still comes out with a win. And look at this. He's actually, I believe, given that he's about to expand right now, is probably a 12 pool for Jaedong. So a 12 pool gas for Jaedong into expansion. Meanwhile, Luxury has gone fast lair here. Very standard build, of course, in ZVZ. So he is going to have a bit of an advantage, but it's not going to be significant, I think. He's not going to be able to do that much damage against Jaedong, 9 pool versus overpool. So Jaedong already in a decent position. And, you know, like I said, Jaedong can be in the reverse position and come up with victories. So this is, you know, already starting off not looking great for Luxury.
Well, I wouldn't agree it doesn't look great, because we've seen that if you can get your tech up earlier, okay, you might be at a slight disadvantage. Presumably longer the game goes on, but if you can get that tech out earlier and you can use it to the best of your abilities, you can harass the other opponent. You can take a few drones down and give yourself that little edge. And now we've seen the Zerglings coming out from Luxury. Jaedong forced to pull a drone out, and I think Luxury, rather than focusing on the Zerglings, I think if he had sniped the drone, and that was careless by Luxury. He lost 3 Zerglings, and I think he killed one Zergling of Jaedong's. That was great micro by Jaedong, and I think that was careless. I think Luxury should have just sniped the drone, because the drone was at the front lines, and if he'd sniped the drone and run away, he would have given himself a slight advantage there. Because drones are really precious in Zerg versus Zerg, because especially when you start off with a single hatchery, you just cannot spare the larvae. You just don't have the spare larvae to build extra drones, or the resources for that matter. Spire now going down for Luxury. He needs to keep the pressure up here on Jaedong, because the moment the pressure is let up, he's going to find himself in a world of hurt. Now, Jaedong with the 2 hatchery, he's got the extra larvae here, and you're right, Jaedong's position is starting to look stronger and stronger by the second, and he's got the right number of Zerglings to defend against Luxury, once again coming in, trying to put some pressure on that Natural Expo, but I think Jaedong's going to be comfortable here.
Well, actually, Luxury has this brief moment of opportunity here. His gas was a little bit faster, so he got speed first, but no, he's committing right now. I think that was a mistake. No, it might not be. He actually has 2 more Zerglings coming in. Just 2, though. It's 4 lings against 3 of Jaedong's. If Luxury can pick off some drones, it might be all worth it. Luxury picking off a couple more lings, and looks like he actually has free reign over the Spire of Jaedong. It would be a huge upset if Luxury beats Jaedong. Jaedong nearing 80% in ZVZ records. Let me say that, but the second best player in the world, ZVZ, is Luxury at 65%. Let us not forget, though, that Jaedong is the master of ZVZ, and no, Luxury has backed off, actually. So he decided to back off. That was a little bit surprising. I felt that he could have stayed longer and done some more damage to the hatchery or something, but looks like he's going to back off to one of his hills. This is a mysterious play to me. It almost seems like Jaedong has snuck some lings through, but I know he hasn't. Now, Luxury Spire is just about to finish right now. Jaedong's is about 400. Yeah, there we go. So Luxury is going to have some mutas in the air, and maybe he's going to be able to pick off some of these lings or some drones. Either way would be very good for him. And you know, right now we're seeing Jaedong with a big counterattack here, or not a very big counterattack. He looks like he's just moving a couple forces out. But Luxury with a great attack there, and now he's actually managed. He hid his Zerglings for a little bit there. That's what he was doing. He was hiding his Zerglings to the right side, and Jaedong didn't see them. And now Luxury has gotten his lings inside the drone line.
Yeah, Luxury manages to pick off one drone. I have to be honest, I don't think that was a clever move by Luxury. He's now got his Mutalisk arriving. I think the reason Luxury backed off was because of that hatchery. I think he feared that Jaedong would pop in too many Zerglings compared to his, and that Jaedong would then, even with a lower drone count, kill his Zerglings and then counter, and then he would be stranded. I think that's why Luxury put those Zerglings back, but personally I think that was the wrong decision. Although, you call it perfectly, Luxury's early gas giving him an advantage there in that attack, allowing him to inflict a little bit of damage on Jaedong, but despite the fact that he won that fight, he didn't really deal any lasting damage. Yes, he killed a few of Jaedong's Zerglings and maybe forced Jaedong to spend a little bit more resources, but he didn't kill any drones except for the one at the end with the sneak Zerglings, and he didn't manage to take the Spire down. I think if Luxury had committed himself to that attack, I don't think he realized just how strong his position was. If he stayed a little bit longer, he would have really hurt Jaedong, and then he would have been in a position. But as it stands, I don't think he really is. Jaedong now with masses of Scourges and Mutalisks, Luxury again sneaking a couple of Zerglings into Jaedong's drone line. Is he going to be able to sneak a drone kill? He hasn't been able to. Jaedong's able to defend it, and now the longer this game goes on, the stronger Jaedong's position is going to grow, because he's got the 2 gas up, though he isn't really mining the he's actually mining the 2 gas, and he's got a decent defense up. So look. Yeah. Right, but Luxury has this one chance because he does have a slightly higher muta count, but unfortunately he's going to run right into the Scourges. So it's going to be down to Luxury's Mutalisk micro. If he can hold off those Scourges and inflict some micro damage, and he's now coming in over the drone. So this is going to be closer than we thought perhaps, but this is key here.
Absolutely key. You're absolutely right. Oh, some of the Scourge landing right now. Couple more Scourge landing. I think Jaedong only has 1 muta left though. There's the muta going down. So now Luxury has 4 mutas over Jaedong's base, and Jaedong is visibly nervous here. You can see he's a bit shaken now. A lot of Scourge coming out. Obviously Jaedong with his double gas can produce as many Scourge as his heart desires out of his larva, but the Scourge are not enough. I feel. Oh no! But those pair did land there, and Luxury needs perfect micro right now. Right now, he's just not able to do it. And now 2 Sunken Colonies up inside Luxury's base. So actually, Luxury is still going to lose some drones, I feel, though, because it looks like Jaedong just targeting the drones. I think 2 drones go down. Luxury not able to keep microing, though. He only has 2 Mutalisks. You need more than just 2 mutas. And I think the danger is gone from Luxury's attack there. It looked for a second like he was going to come back and actually do enough damage, but I gotta feel he's not going to be able to. Jaedong, once again, by the skin of his teeth, manages to come out ahead, I think, in this battle. I mean, Luxury now has a bunch of Scourge, but his drone count is much lower. And just look at that. Yeah, he has got almost no drones left. And now Jaedong still has about 6 drones mining minerals. That's probably the same number of drones that Luxury has total. And, you know, Jaedong with 2 hatches and 2 gas. I just can't see how Luxury can win.
Yeah, I think Luxury might still have a surviving Mutalisk, which he's going to try and cover with the Scourge against Jaedong's Scourge and hope he can deal some damage. But actually, he doesn't. He doesn't have. It doesn't look like he does have a Mutalisk because Jaedong's got a couple of Scourges planted over Luxury's base. Again, what a great game of StarCraft between these 2 players. Absolutely psychotic play, and in the end, it did come down to that. It did come down to Jaedong's. Oh, great play! But it did come down.
He was trying to go for 2 for 1.
It did come down to. Absolutely. It did come down to Jaedong's ability to just mass-produce Scourge at will, and he just out-Scourged Luxury in the end, and Luxury just didn't have the staying power with his Mutalisk, and Jaedong was just about, and if I think Luxury almost, he should have almost suicided his last couple of Mutalisks just to try and take out as many drones as he could, because those Mutalisks were going down anyway. Looks like Luxury's managed to sneak a few Zerglings into Jaedong's base, but now Jaedong's going to sunken up as well. He's got more Zerglings up as well, so it's only a matter of time before Jaedong closes out. Luxury's going to GG right here, I think, and Luxury does GG, so Jaedong takes the game, but there were a couple of points in that game where Luxury looked like he could have taken it. He certainly, I don't think he was at a huge disadvantage because of necessarily the builds, although in the end it was Jaedong's build that told with the 2 gas.
Yeah, absolutely. The 2 gas, just a 12 pool against a 9 pool, man. I mean, it is so hard for any Zerg to come back from it. And the only one who can do it is Jaedong, but it doesn't work the other way around. If you're playing against Jaedong and he has the advantage, man, yeah, you're just not going to win. I mean, there's a reason why Jaedong went 12 games at one point, ZVZ, in a row. 12 wins, ZVZ. It was broken by none other than Oversky, of course, like I love to mention, because Oversky is a fun old player. But regardless, though, I would say luxury or effort, actually. I should have mentioned effort, also very good, ZVZ, although less tested than luxury. Both of them are the other two good ZVZs out there, but neither of them, or anyone else, even comes close to Jaedong. Jaedong is just for some reason, he's just an absolute savant in Zerg versus Zerg. It's not like he's bad in the other matchups, but right now, he just hit 80% with that win, I believe. Yeah, he's at 80%. Wow, I mean that is ridiculous. 4-1 record in the pro scene against any race and any situation is just ridiculous. But anyway, this group is also going to be really exciting. I don't know. Final thoughts about this group or any of these StarCraft that we've seen today?
I think we've seen three amazing games, and one game which wasn't so amazing but still exciting, because there was a lot of back and forth involved. I think I'm just wondering what would have happened if Luxury had committed a little bit longer with those Zerglings when he had the advantage in Jaedong's space, because Jaedong's Zerglings took a little. I think he ran away too early. But I think the problem, of course, for Luxury was that he did only have the one hatchery, so he didn't want to be in a position where you would have to use larvae up just as his spire was going down or coming up to produce Zerglings. And I think that was the kind of dilemma, the horn of the dilemma that he was stuck at, and that was why he was forced to pull those Zerglings out, because he knew that Jaedong would be producing a lot of Zerglings, and that Jaedong would still have larvae left over from his better economy, and obviously from the two hatcheries, and maybe that's why he decided to pull that out. In which case, I guess he never really had a chance at all, even though it looked like he did.
Yeah, I agree there. He might have had a small chance had he just concentrated on Spire, or I don't know what he could have done. But you're right. I mean, it was just a little bit too hard, too hard of a situation for anyone to come back in. But anyway, it's really cool that you decided to come out of the bog in Ireland, or whatever Ireland has, caves, I don't know, leprechauns, whatever. I'm glad you come out to do a commentary, Klazart, in this game.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. Thanks for having me, Cholera, and hopefully people
Yeah.
enjoyed listening to it. Will enjoy listening to it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming, and thank you guys for listening. This is Cholera and Klazart signing off.